Well, we're getting awfully close to that April 8th total solar eclipse, so let's take a look at what we can expect here. Okay, we know that the line of totality obviously going through the United States, going really close to home base here in the state of Michigan for a lot of you that are watching this, and it gets lesser and lesser the further over to the west you go, because of course the moon's shadow isn't going to cast that big of a shadow. It's just going to be in a fine little line as it goes on through. Now, cool thing here is if you're in totality, this is only going to be visible if you are in 100% coverage, not 99, not 98. You have to drive down to where we are expecting 100% coverage. That is called the Ring of Fire. Fun little name there, huh? So again, that typically occurs during those total solar eclipses. That's when the moon passes in front of the sun. You can see the sun's rays around it, and of course pretty rare, because if you think about the whole scale of the eclipse, just a tiny little part gets this Ring of Fire effect. Now there's a twofer. It's the solar maximum, which means the sun's activity kind of ebbs and flows. We have peaks and valleys in the sun's activity, which is why some years we have lots of northern lights chances, other years we don't. We are in a solar maximum right now, which means there's a lot of activity that happens about every 11 years. So this means that you might actually be able to see those little eruptions, those little curly eruptions come out of the sun, if there is one, only during like the 3 to 4 minutes of totality that we are expecting. So that means it's going to be very, very rare, but it's possible out there. And I just wanted to point that out because it's really cool. Now, what most of us in Michigan will be seeing is going to be called the diamond ring effect. So if I step out of the way here, when we only have about 96, 97, 98% coverage, that little piece of the sun is going to kind of look like a diamond ring, right? You got the shiny bright diamond there, the ring around the moon for the rest of the way. So really cool, but this means you must have solar glasses the whole time. That little tiny piece of sunlight right there is enough to cause damage to your eyes. So that can, of course, appear immediately before and after totality as well for those of you that are going down into totality. And again, looks like a diamond ring out there. So let's take a look at Lansing. The time that the eclipse is going to start is just before 2 p.m. It's going to take the whole hour before we start to reach our maximum, which is after 3 o'clock at 3:12. And that's when we're going to have that diamond ring effect in Lansing, as well as Jackson, Detroit, you're going to see that, Grand Rapids. Only down in Ohio, Indiana, and the southernmost tip of Michigan, down by the Ohio border by Toledo, will be in that 100% blockage area. Then, as the moon continues to move away, you're still going to get that cool crescent moon effect until about 4:25. So it's going to be quite a long event. Everyone's going to be out and enjoying it, having a great time, hopefully. Areas around us seeing totality will be Indianapolis, Cleveland. Look at Detroit, though, coming in at 99% coverage. Awfully close, and we're so close that driving down to totality is definitely within reach for a lot of us. So you can see Grand Rapids, 94%, Jackson, Lansing, 98, 96 respectively. So we are going to have a significant amount of coverage. And see how it kind of grazes the corner of Michigan down there, as well as much of Lake Erie. This is going to be Cedar Point, Put-in Bay, excuse me. Overall, we're going to have a lot of areas that we're just out of reach here, but it's definitely drivable to go down and enjoy it in that totality. So here's a look at timing as this comes through. This is Texas. You can see Fort Worth, Dallas, over toward Waco, Tyler. It'll eventually keep going off to the northeast through areas like Texarkana. So if you want to follow some live streams, I know there's big eclipse parties going on in Dallas. You can watch it while it's still moving our direction. Overall, that's going to continue on. You can see Evansville, Indiana, Indianapolis, Muncie right there. So again, it's just out of the state of Michigan, but definitely easy to drive down there. And the closer to the center of this you are, the longer the eclipse will last. The top side, less than a minute. Right in the middle, though, about 4 minutes of totality. And you can see there, again, it's going to depend on where you are, but that timing is everything. So it's only going to last for a few minutes, makes its way through Ohio, through Cleveland, Buffalo, New York. I know Niagara Falls is going to have a heck of a party as well. So it's going to be really cool to watch this all go down. Then it goes through upstate New York, Burlington, Vermont, northern Maine, where all the moose are, and then into Canada eventually. So really cool stuff coming our way. Remember, for everyone in Michigan, you have to wear solar eclipse glasses the entire time. Sunglasses, even some welding glasses, probably not going to cut it out there. You have to have that solar filter ready to go. And again, you can always build that solar viewer. And this is how it works with a shoebox, tape, some paper, foil, and scissors. This is super simple. Cut 2 holes in that box, put a little piece of tin foil over one of the holes. So you put tape on the tin foil, put it over the hole, you and the kids can poke a little pencil through it, really fun activity there. And then you put your piece of paper on the other side of the shoebox, if you even need this piece of paper, totally honest with you there. Put the lid back on that shoebox, point it behind, so have the sun behind you, so it goes through that hole. You look through here, and then guess what? You can see the moon pass in front of the sun that way, and it is a very, very safe way to view this eclipse. So again, totality here, very, very close by, less off to the northwest and more down to the southeast. Everyone have fun and please be safe. We'll be keeping a very close update on your forecast as we get a little bit closer.